Hello and welcome back. I'm Dasha Langway, and today we're talking about one of the most important verbs in English, the verb to be. And even though it looks simple, it actually does a lot of different jobs. In this lesson, I'm going to explain what the verb to be is, the difference between situations where a be gives the main information, meaning it works as a main verb, and situations where it helps another verb, meaning it works as an auxiliary verb. We'll also talk about how to use it, how it works in the present, past, and future, and we'll also do a few mini quiz questions during the lesson and a short quiz at the end. So if you've ever thought, what exactly are am is are, or why do we say I'm tired but also I am working, this lesson is for you. Let's start with the main idea. What is the verb to be? The verb to be is one of the most common and important verbs in English. English is a very verb based language, and we almost never build sentences without verbs. The verb be is actually the most frequently used verb. Very often, we need it to give some basic information. Even though sometimes you can see the form be itself in a sentence, unlike most other verbs in English, be usually does not appear in its base form. Most of the time, it appears in one of its other forms am, is, are, was, were, been, and being. For example, she is my student, I am hungry, they are at work. We won't really talk about been and being today, as they usually belong to more complex tense structures, but I will explain the other forms a little later in the video. Now let's talk about one of the main functions of to be. In all of the sentences from the previous slide, be connects the subject to information about it. It tells us who someone is, what someone is like, or where someone or something is. So the first big idea of the verb to be is to give the main information about someone or something. More specifically, we use it to describe, identify, or locate. In English grammar, this is called a linking verb because it links the subject to more information about the subject. It doesn't usually show an action, so in these kinds of sentences, there are usually no other verbs. Now let's take a closer look at each one of these uses. The first one is to describe people, things, or situations. For example, we are 50 years old describes our age. This cake is delicious describes the taste of the cake. The office is noisy describes environment. And I am happy describes feelings. In these sentences, am, is, and are forms of the verb to be, and we use them to describe something. We also use to be to identify a person or a thing. In other words, we use it to say who someone is or what someone is. For example, she is a manager, these are my friends, that is my book. And we also use to be to say where someone or something is. For example, they are at home, the keys are on the table, I am in my room. So overall, we have three big uses of to be as a main verb, and these uses are to describe, to identify, and to show location. So we use the verb to be to connect the subject of the sentence to more information about the same subject. That is the first big use of the verb to be. Besides being a main verb, to be can also be an auxiliary verb. In the previous examples, the verb to be gives the main information in the sentence. So in these sentences, am and is carry the main meaning. But sometimes be is there not to give the main information, but to help another verb. In these situations, be becomes an auxiliary verb. For example, I am cleaning, she is working, we are walking. Now the main actions are not am, is, or are. The main actions are cleaning, working, and walking. In these sentences, am, is, and are help us show that the action is happening now. So here, to be is helping us form the present continuous or progressive tense. And as an auxiliary verb for tenses, to be is used in progressive and perfect progressive tenses. So unlike most other verbs in English, to be has two main functions. The first is when it carries the main meaning in the sentence in the form of describing something, identifying, or showing location. We also call it a linking verb. And the second is when be helps form another verb form and does not carry the main meaning in the sentence. Let's check your understanding of the functions of be. Look at these two sentences. She is smart, she is sleeping. In which sentence does is give the main information? Pause for a second and think. And the answer is she is smart because the sentence describes her, but in she is sleeping is helping the verb sleeping. Now that you understand what the verb to be does, let's look at its forms. We'll go through the most important forms in the present, past, and future. You may also hear forms like have been or has been. Those are very common too, but they belong to bigger tense patterns. More specifically, perfect, but we won't be talking about them today as it is a whole other topic that I will discuss in my future videos. So in this video, we're focusing on the most important core forms: am, is, are, was, were, and will be. Let's start with the present. In the present, the verb to be has three forms: am, is, are. To choose the correct form, you need to know what the subject is because this is one of the few verbs in English that changes depending on the subject. Here is the pattern with pronouns. I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, and they are. When you don't see a pronoun, think about whether the subject is singular or plural. If it is singular, so if there is just one person or thing, use is. If it is plural, so if there are two or more people or things, then we use are. So this book is interesting, but these books are interesting. Let's look at examples with each pronoun. I am hungry. You are busy. He is my brother. She is driving home. It is hot. We are tired. They are working late. Now let's check your understanding of this information. Which sentence is not correct? My kids are happy. My mom is happy. I are happy. Pause and choose. The wrong sentence is C. I are happy. Because with I we use am. Now let's talk about how to make negative sentences. We can make sentences negative by adding not right after the verb, and we can even contract the form. Am not to apostrophe m, not, is not to isn't or apostrophe s, not, and are not to aren't or apostrophe re, not. Isn't and aren't are more common than the other version. We usually say not fully when we want to emphasize the negative part. For example, she isn't hungry, she is not hungry. Let's look at some examples with other pronouns. I am not hungry, I'm not hungry. You are not busy, you aren't busy. He is not my brother, he isn't my brother. Now let's look at questions. To make a question with the verb be, you simply just move it to the front. So to go back to our examples, I am hungry, we turn into am I hungry? You are busy, are you busy? He is my brother, is he my brother? And to reply, you simply say yes plus the subject plus to be, or no plus the subject plus to be plus not. So yes, I am, or no, I am not. And here are the answers to other two questions. Let's do another quiz. Again, which sentence is not correct? They are hungry. He is hungry. I am not hungry. Pause and choose. The wrong answer is A. They are hungry, because in questions, are needs to come first. Now let's move to the past. In the past, the verb to be has a similar meaning to its present forms. It still describes people or things, but now we're talking about the past. It only has two forms here, was and were. The pattern with pronouns is a little different from the present. I was, he was, she was, it was, you were, we were, they were. With all the other singular nouns, we use was, and all the plural nouns, we use were. So we can say the movie was interesting and all the movies were interesting. And here are some examples with all the pronouns. I was at school yesterday. You were in Paris last month. He was tired. She was my student. It was a great day. We were early. They were very polite. Just like in the present, we can make sentences negative by adding not after be. Here, the contracted forms are was not, wasn't, were not, weren't. For example, I was not at school, or I wasn't at school. They were not very polite, or they weren't very polite, and he was not tired, he wasn't tired. And to make a question, you simply just move it to the front. For example, I was at school yesterday turns into was I at school yesterday? And our answers are yes, I was, no, I wasn't. They were very polite. Were they very polite? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. And he was tired. Was he tired? Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Let's compare the present and the past forms. I am at school. I was at school. They are at home. They were at home. She is hungry. She was hungry. Here, as you can notice, the structure of the sentences themselves does not change at all. The only thing that changes is the form of be. Let's do another quiz now. Which sentence is correct? We was busy. We were busy. We is busy. Pause and choose. And the answer is B. We were busy. Because with we in the past tense, we use were. And now let's look at the future tense. In the future tense, we usually use the modal verb will, which shows that we are talking about the future. And then we simply add be when needed in situations where we describe something, identify, or show location. Here, there are no multiple forms. It is always just will be. For example, I will be at school tomorrow. He will be 26 next year. They will be ready soon. It will be difficult. We will be there at 6. This one is nice because it's quite simple. We use will be with all the subjects. I will be, you will be, he will be, she will be, it will be, we will be, they will be. To make it negative, we need to put not after will, not after be, and the contraction is a little different. Will not turns into won't. I know it's a little weird, but just remember it. Will not is won't. For example, they will not be ready soon, or they won't be ready soon. It will not be difficult. It won't be difficult. We will not be there at 6. We won't be there at 6. And the last part, to make questions, we put will at the front, not be, like in the present and past. For example, they will be ready soon turns into will they be ready soon? And possible answers are yes, they will, no, they won't. Another example, it will be difficult. Will it be difficult? Yes, it will, no, it won't. We will be there at 6. Will we be there at 6? Yes, we will, no, we won't. Now let's compare all 3 time frames. Present, I am tired. Past, I was tired. Future, I will be tired. As you can see again, the structure is quite similar, but the form of be changes. Now let's review what we learned today and then do a quiz. The verb to be is used to describe, identify, show location, and sometimes help another verb. It has many functions, and that is why it appears so often in English sentences. Its main forms are present, am is are, past was were, future will be. And try to remember, sometimes be gives the main information, for example, I am tired, and sometimes be helps another verb. For example, I am working. Okay, Now let's do the final quiz with several questions. Question 1. Which sentence is in the past? They are ready, they were ready, they will be ready. The correct answer is B. They were ready. Question 2. Which sentence is correct? She will be here soon. She is here soon. She were here soon. And the answer is A. She will be here soon. Okay. Question 3. In which sentence does B give the main information? We are watching TV. We are tired. We are talking. The correct answer is we are tired. Question 4. In which sentence does were help another verb? They were excited. They were waiting. They were at work. The correct answer is they were waiting. And question 5. Which sentence is correct? She were very tired yesterday. She was very tired yesterday. She is very tired yesterday. And the correct answer is she was very tired yesterday. All right. In the description below, I included a link to a free worksheet that covers everything we talked about in this lesson, and it also includes more quizzes and games to help you remember it. If this lesson was helpful, write some sentences in the comments with to be in different forms, or if you want a slightly more difficult task, write sentences where to be gives the main information and where it helps another verb. And if you want more clear, practical English lessons like this, make sure you subscribe because I post new videos several times a week. In my next videos, I'll cover each tense separately and in more detail. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.